Okay, starting to put the engine together, get it ready to put in. I'm putting the exhaust manifolds on right now. I went ahead and put just a little bit of the super high temp stuff around there, and had a little bumper or something. I'm gonna let that tack off just for a minute. I did the same thing here. I did go ahead and order new bolts because the old ones were just rusty, crusty as hell. And granted, you know, you could do more with headers, but I've had headers on Trans Am before, and sometimes they're a bear to fit. And again, I don't need to squeeze every horsepower out of this. I know what it'll do. We dynoed it, and that's plenty. So we're gonna make it as stock appearing as possible. You know, try to keep track of all the brackets that belong and make sure all the bolts and studs are all in the right place. Like I say, pretty simple, but twice the horsepower of the original. So I'll do that. We'll work on, I'll just maybe looking like a little time-lapse thing. I'll just throw some videos on here as we're doing things, and I'll look for something that's out of the ordinary. Only thing is, on this side, if you put the oil in on the gaskets, you've got a little kick around it to where you can get that in there fit. And that's it for now. Next. All right. Exhaust on, torque them down. I believe it's 35, 40 pounds. And I'm gonna look over and see what else I can do before I get it in the frame. Sucks really being out here listening to music and you guys shut the music off every time, or they cancel out, copyright your videos or whatever. I mean, kind of a pain in the ass. Maybe I should just wear headphones. All right, on to the next one. Okay, motor's in. I'm gonna have to put a little support under it. I'll hold it here at the back, and I'll go ahead and mount flywheel, clutch, everything while it's in there. I chose to do that because I'm here by myself, and it was easier to move that around. Almost screwed up. When I took the motor off the lift and pushed the lift out of the way the first time, the leg extensions were in my way, so I moved them all the way back in, and I jacked it up, put the motor on it just now. Let me turn this light off. I don't know if that's gonna bug you guys or not. So you can see where the center line was, and it was probably just about 20 pounds difference. I had 20 pounds more on the motor, it would have flipped. Now I would have caught it before I disconnected the stand and everything. But again, you could just never be too sure checking this stuff. So yeah, I went ahead and dropped it down on the floor and then pulled the legs out and got it in there. And again, my helper must be in town somewhere, so went ahead and got this sitting in here. Starting to look like a pretty car now. I will move on to something else. I'm gonna get the new clutch. Got to put the new throwout bearing on. And you know, the shitty part is you buy one, you don't know it's new, but you don't know if it's better than the one you had. That one feels nice, but you take your chance. This has been resurfaced and ready to go. Bolts are ready. I have a new bronze bushing to go on the transmission. So hopefully I can get that in without breaking anything. I might even take a break and go get a drink right now. It's as much the nervousness of putting in a new motor as it is anything else. But it slipped right into place. Didn't have any issues. On to the next. Well, it's a good thing I bought the bronze one. Clutch kit for the Pontiac from Summit came with a really nice little roller bearing. But they're two different sizes. And they both fit on the transmission part, but where the little nose tip goes in here, this fits here. Maybe need to be cleaned up a little bit. And then they thought, oh, that would be great. Maybe this one just sits deeper. Well, it don't. It's not even close. I mean, it's, you can see right there in my hand, it's 1/16 or more all the way around, too big, and obviously don't go there. So have no idea what that was for. So we're going with the bronze. Everybody tells me the bronze is better anyway. So that's what I'm going with. Hello. Wow. Got the transmission in, and that was a booger. I did everything you're supposed to do. I even made these fancy little slide on. I made 3 of these, put them in here instead of the bolts, and it, you know, you can slide the transmission part in on the bell housing. Put the clutch in, use the handy dandy alignment tool, got it all slide in and out perfect. And no matter what I did, I literally messed with it for a couple hours, couldn't get it to go in. Pulled it off, put it back together, realign the clutch. Seems like it's off a little. And finally took everything apart again, put the bell housing and the clutch on the transmission, closed up the gap. Problem is, when I was putting it on, I could never get that gap close. It was just not going into the pilot bushing. Took it all apart. I had the pilot bushing on before. Put the transmission into the pilot bushing without the clutch and bell housing. It's just, at that point, it's just an alignment problem. But the little tool was sliding right in. Problem with the little tool, it's off a couple thousandths. There's slop in it. It's a plastic piece, and it was close. So really, I just kind of chamfered the front of the input shaft a little bit, just slightly. Mine seemed like it was just flat, and something's just hitting. And I even took a little sandpaper, real fine stuff, and went inside the pilot bushing, kind of cleaned it up a little in case hammering it in had squeezed it, but it was right. So finally I got it close, and I could feel it hitting. It felt like it was just in. So I just hit here with a hammer a little bit, a little dead blow hammer. And once it moved a millimeter, I knew it was in and it was just tight. So then I went ahead and just hammered slow, just a quick tap as I'm tightening down the screws or the bolts, because I did not want to break an ear off or anything. It was just very tight. Tight's good. So there we go. Transmission's in. Everything looks good. I'm going to go around now, kind of retorque some things. I need to, well, I guess I was done. I thought I was going to have to retorque a few things. This I've got to torque down. These I had already done. I just didn't do the outside yet. Little things you don't want to forget as you go on. And I'm going to go through my pile and check for any of this stuff that needs to be bolted on first. And as usual, I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. Just wanted to take a quick look at this. Probably start on, I'll end up just covering everything up, because I've got to find all these pieces and kind of clean. May have to sandblast a little bit, but just got a decent little reference picture here where if you see something you like or don't like, something's out of place, should be good to go. I've got the cover, the exhaust cover here. I'll probably go ahead and put that back on because I think that'll shield some heat from out here. I'm not going to put this exhaust piece here is not operational, so I probably won't use it. That's it. Just quick thing, got transmission in, and we will start looking at this stuff, the ball, because I'd rather do that now while I can reach it instead of later once I step out of the car. So I'm gonna go look for parts and pieces and we'll go from there. Goodbye. Okay, got a few things on, fuel pumps on, started fitting brackets. Realized I needed to get a new power steering pump. I'm just gonna go ahead and get a reman, like 50 bucks, but then you gotta get the pulley off. And I've been messing with it for a few minutes, trying to clamp that down so it don't spin, get the impact on it. I'm gonna try one more time, and then I'm gonna have to get serious, maybe even find another pulley because this thing's not coming off. But I got the heat on it. We'll crank it up, see if I can get the damn thing off here and get one ordered. Next. Wow, okay. Success. I'd crank that impact up to about, I don't know, 175 pounds of pressure. Heated it up. So now I can go get a new one of those and keep going.